Ambassador Zekthar of the Valorian Confederation had transmitted a simple distress call. His fleet's primary dreadnought, the Celestial Honor, had suffered catastrophic damage during the retreat from Krell space. 3 fusion cores were offline, the navigation array was shattered, and hull breaches dotted the ship like a fatal disease. They needed repairs. Desperately. Earth's response had been immediate. Coordinates received. Repair teams en route. Estimated arrival, 14 hours. What arrived 14 hours later was not what Zekthar had expected. The human fleet emerged from quantum slipspace with the subtlety of a supernova. 12 ships, each bristling with weapon arrays that made Valorian military architects weep with envy. But it was the lead vessel that caught everyone's attention. A massive constructor-class ship called the Milwaukee's Best, covered in scorch marks, dented plating, and what appeared to be graffiti that read, "Gorilla Glue fixes everything." Captain Maria Okonkwo was the first to board the Celestial Honor. She was a tall woman with dark skin, mechanical augmentations visible along her jawline, and an expression that suggested she'd seen everything the universe had to offer, and remained thoroughly unimpressed. Ambassador Zekthar? She extended a hand, a human greeting Zekthar had studied. Captain Okonkwo, United Earth Engineering Corps. We're here to fix your ship. Captain, we are grateful for... Yeah, gratitude later. Let's see the damage. She turned to her team. Rodriguez, get the coffee station set up in their mess hall. These people look exhausted. Coffee. Station? Zekthar's translator struggled with the term. You'll... See, what followed was the most bewildering 72 hours of Zekthar's 7th century life. The humans didn't repair the Celestial Honor. They transformed it. Chief Engineer Rodriguez, a stocky man with graying hair and forearms like plasma cannons, took one look at the Valorian fusion cores and declared them cute but inefficient. Within 6 hours, human engineers had torn out the damaged cores and installed what they called refurbished military-grade fusion reactors. Salvaged, Rodriguez explained, from a colony ship that wasn't using them anymore. The new reactors produced 4 times the output, but we only asked for repairs. Zekthar protested as he watched his engine room get gutted and rebuilt. Yeah, but we were already here, Rodriguez shrugged. Seemed wasteful to just patch holes when we could, you know. Make improvements. The navigation array was replaced with a human quantum entanglement system that could calculate jump coordinates in microseconds instead of hours. The hull breaches weren't just sealed. They were reinforced with human composite, armor that weighed less and absorbed more kinetic energy than anything in Valorian arsenals, and then there was the coffee. The mysterious brown liquid appeared everywhere. In the mess hall on workstations, carried in insulated containers by human engineers who seemed to operate on minimal sleep and maximum caffeine. Zekthar had tried it once at the insistence of Captain Okonkwo and spent the next hour experiencing what humans called the jitters and what he called a religious experience of uncomfortable velocity. Your species drinks this voluntarily? He asked, his 3-fingered hands trembling. Multiple times a day, Okonkwo confirmed with a grin. How do you think we built a stellar civilization in 300 years? By hour 48, Valorian crew members were lining up for their own cups despite the warnings. Chief Medical Officer Trenkala reported a 30% increase in productivity and a 60% increase in nervous disorders, but the real surprise came on hour 67. Zekthar was inspecting the new weapons array because, of course, the humans had installed a weapons array when alarms blared across the fleet. Krell warships had tracked them. 8 heavy cruisers, each capable of glassing a planet. We need to retreat immediately, Zekthar commanded. Our ships cannot withstand respectfully, Ambassador? Okonkwo's voice was calm, almost bored. We've got this. The human fleet moved with predatory grace. Their ships, which Zekthar had assumed were constructors and support vessels, transformed. Armor plating slid back to reveal missile batteries. Repair drones detached and reconfigured into autonomous fighters. The Milwaukee's Best unveiled a spinal railgun that looked like it could puncture a moon. You brought a war fleet, Zekthar breathed. We asked for repair teams. Same thing in human space, Rodriguez said cheerfully from the engineering station. Engineering Corps doubles as rapid response force. Efficiency, you know. The battle lasted 11 minutes. The humans fought with a casual brutality that shocked the Valorians. They used debris as weapons, asteroids as shields, and tactics that violated every principle of civilized warfare. When a Krell cruiser attempted to surrender, Okonkwo accepted, then immediately demanded they hand over their engine schematics for analysis. When the last Krell ship limped into quantum slip space, Zekthar's fleet stood intact. Better than intact, upgraded. As the human fleet prepared to depart, Zekthar approached Captain Okonkwo on the bridge of the Milwaukee's Best. "Captain, I must ask, why?" "We requested repairs. You've given us advanced technology, strategic advantages, and military support. What does Earth want in return?" Okonkwo looked up from her datapad, genuinely confused. "Want? Ambassador, you put out a distress call." We answered. "That's what neighbors do. But the upgrades, the technology transfers, you needed help." "We had spare parts," she shrugged. "Besides, the Krell are assholes. Enemy of my enemy and all that." She handed him a container. "Oh, and we're leaving you 3 industrial coffee makers and 50 kilos of premium beans. Consider it a gift. Your crew is addicted now anyway." Zekthar looked at the container, then at the retrofitted dreadnought that had been a wreck 3 days ago, then at the human captain who treated interstellar warfare like a maintenance contract. "Humans are terrifying," he said quietly. Okonkwo smiled. "Yeah, but we're your terrifying humans now. The Krell come back, you call us. We'll bring bigger guns." She paused. "And more coffee. You guys go through it fast." As the human fleet departed, Zekthar stood on his upgraded bridge, sipping what humans called an espresso, and contemplated the strangest truth he'd learned in 7 centuries. Humanity didn't have allies. They had friends. And they treated friendship like a military contract with overwhelming force, excessive generosity, and an alarming amount of caffeine. The Valorian Confederation's formal alliance with Earth was ratified 6 weeks later. The humans sent a diplomatic team, 3 more constructors, and 200 tons of coffee. The Krell never bothered Valorian space again.